cat kii daal ne na xam nga lu muy bañ ñoo dugg ci bitig bi ne nangam lay ut ñu ne amut lépp lu jigéen di soxla rek mu ngi ci bitig bii rawat na nag tubaarikàlla scrub yi nga xam ne moo xew si jamono ndax nee na buggatul benn yaram yàqu scrub yaa ngi nii body scrub yi face scrub yaa ngi day and night loo bugg rek ci jigéen mu ngi ci bitig bii cuuraay yaa ngi fi house spray yaa ngi fi waaye foundation yi ana powder yi quality Getzner fii nag la am ci Westfield quality Getzner nëbuwul maa ngi ni kuy nëbbatu du ko wax mu ngi ne fanga ca kaw nag call at 753 4495 25 00 124 ñaari nomba yi boo ci oo ñu uyu la xale yaa ngi fi koo laaj mu waxal la quality Getzner and more.
Can we start now? Good morning, members of the media here in present. The National President of the Deputy National President of the National People's Party, Honorable Dr. Demba Sabali, the spokesman of the National People's Party and Minister of Information, under whose docket we are here this morning to address pertinent issues, the Honorable Lamin Queen Jame, the Secretary Media and Communications, Suleiman Kamara. We have the Secretary Strategy Research and Development, Kemo Conte, Campaign Manager, Lamin Cham, National Women Mobilizer, Maimuna Balde, Secretary Fundraising, Haji Baneko Sisoho, Deputy Secretary Media and Communication, Lamin Jambajame, Ramatullah Bah, and who else? Deputy Campaign Manager, Deputy Secretary Legal Affairs, co-opted executive members here in present, members of the Regional Executive Committee, Chairman, all the executive supporters and members of the National People's Party, those who are in present here and those absent. Good morning to all of you. We call this very important press to address key issues that are important not only to the National People's Party, but to the country as a whole. Particularly of recent unfortunate comment made by the leader of the United Democratic Party, the octogenarian lawyer Ousainou Dardoe'S. We found those statements alarming and as threat to the socio-economic development of the country and the peace and stability of the country. We've also found that his statements are full of fallacy and a recipe for violence and chaos as we prepare to conduct the local government elections for April 14 and May 20, respectively. And as a party under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, which is founded on the basis of democracy, respect for fundamental rule of law, and strict observance of people's liberties and freedom. We are concerned as a party and that we intend to highlight those issues and as well proffer solutions to that effect. Under the guidance of the spokesperson, the press conference will be held to us that we will allow the Secretary Media and Communication to read statement for and on behalf of the party. And then we will allow a brief comment from the first Deputy National President, Dr. Demba Sabali. Then I will take questions and answers. On that note, we want to thank the members of the media for coming and also wish all and sundry on behalf of the Secretary General and Party Leader, His Excellency President Adama Barrow, a very happy 58th Independence Anniversary of the Gambia, and we hope that we will witness many, many independence. And as well, this is our first press conference. I also wish to, on behalf of the Secretary General and Party Leader, the President of the Republic of the Gambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Gambian Forces, His Excellency President Adama Barrow, to extend our deepest condolences to the family of the late Vice President, Dr. Badara Ali Juf, and that we pray the Almighty Allah to grant him eternal rest in Jannah. He has been a man of wisdom who lived true to his life, who has served this country with distinction as a GO public or civil servant who rose through the ranks of to the climax of permanent secretary, as well as serving the international community and to the second highest office of this country as a vice president, where he helped shape and he drive the policies of government for and on behalf of the president. So we want to extend our heartfelt condolence to his family and to the Gambian populace. On that note, I will invite the Secretary for Media and Communication, Suleiman Kamara, to read a statement for and on behalf of the National People's Party.
It is with great pleasure and honor that the National Executive Committee of our great party invite you to this crucial press conference. The National Executive Committee decided to organize this interaction and reflection with the press in response to the statement uttered by the UDP leader and the United Democratic Party that, if ignored, could mislead his followers and fuel a state of instability in the country. May we begin with the reconfirming the commitment of our party to the sacred ideals of peace, stability, national reconciliation, unity, and the continued progress, development of our beloved country, the smiling coast of Africa. The Ministry of Local Government and Land has received written complaints from the Council about alleged financial and administrative irregularities involving various amounts from $10 to $30 million, as well as critical staff matters. These reports were specifically received from Basse Area Council, Janjambure Area Council, Kanifi Municipal Council, and Banjul City Council. These councils are currently besieged by internal squabbles and so much malfeasance. Almost 2 months into 2023 fiscal year, a council like the Banjul City Council is yet to submit its annual budget for scrutiny by the ministry as provided for by the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004. A council like KMC has been without a CEO and a director of finance for nearly 2 years and are blocking oversight measures, including court orders and directives from the Local Government Service Commission to institute the proper redress. These circumstances have, among other factors, seriously negated the administration, developmental, and social service delivery obligation of the Council. The Ministry bears oversight obligations over councils and have hence advised on appropriate measures to bring sanity into local government administration. As a result, the activities of councils will be reviewed holistically, without bias, with the objective of improving the governance and service delivery component of each and every council on standard footing. A fairer look at the terms of reference of the Commission is clearly indicative of the fact that the whole exercise at the end of the day is aimed at providing government with informed policy choices for effective local government reform, functional and physical decentralization. Any other opinionated consideration associating the institution of the Commission to political witch hunting is a wishful assumption. His Excellency the President Adam Barrow is within his legal and executive remit in consonance with Section 200 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997, to set up this commission. Be it placed on record that no amount of political tantrum or idle bickering will derail the work of the commission or distract its commissioners from the task ahead of them. The government lends its total support to the commissioners and urge the general public to remain law-abiding at all times. In pursuit of our purpose and drive for stability and greater prosperity for this small but greater country, our party has taken note of the statement of great concern that were expressed by Honorable Ousainou Dardoe'S, leader of the United Democratic Party, in a political meeting held by members of his party in Gunjur on Sunday, February 12, 2023. We have noted with concern that the leader of the UDP had made remarks in Gunjur that may threaten the continued peace and stability of the country. It is a political high tide now, with local government elections to be held within the immediate horizon. We can understand the state of anguish, paranoia that has gripped the UDP leader and his party over their clearly diminished prospect in these elections. The inconsiderate and careless outbursts of a political leader in these delicate times cannot be taken lightly by all level-headed Gambians. The leadership of NPP therefore deemed it fit and necessary to join all peace-loving citizens to come out and condemn wholly for spreading words of fears and intimidation. The utterances of the embattled and clearly exhausted leader in Gunjur, which we intend to address in this press conference, is as follows. 1, that His Excellency President Adama Barrow wants to stifle the decision of the Supreme Court with regard to setting up a commission of inquiry to look into the financial malpractices of some local government authorities. We will stress here that this president has no time in his busy and highly delicate schedule to deviate from his executive role of managing the presidential affairs of this country and delve into the role of domain of the judiciary or any branch of government at any time. Number 2, Ousainou Dardoe'S decried the ongoing investigation process of the Finance and Public Account Committee into financial activities of local government authorities, but this oversight role is part of the normal functions of National Assembly. And Alhaji S. Darboe, the Administrative Secretary of UDP, is the chairman of this commission or of this committee. So in a sense, the coming of the council to the National Assembly to answer questions has nothing to do with President Barrow. The whole country saw in the news the missing millions in the UDP control councils. On the strength of the outcome of these preliminary investigations, it is within the remit of the President of the Republic to establish a commission of inquiry into such situations. In the Gambia, under President Barrow, the democratic space is boundless, and there is zero interference in the province of judiciary. This has been demonstrated on numerous occasions, and all of you representing your various media houses are witness to that. The UDP leader also said that the result of the coming election are not if the result of the coming election are not tabulated properly, according to him, they will announce their own results. This is quite unfortunate by trying to undermine the integrity of the Independent Electoral Commission. The party is a spent force and on a life-supporting machine. This is manifested in the last presidential election. NPP is a progressive people's movement party, a party of peace, hope, and inclusiveness. Where all opinions are respectfully counted, where politics of insult is shown, as Honorable Halifa Sallah once said, people who insult have nothing to offer. This is a serious threat and the recipe for chaos and instability. His Excellency Adama Barrow will preserve the integrity, peace, harmony of this country, and he will not allow anyone to take the laws of this country into their own hands whenever decisions do not go their way. Gambian democracy has come of age, and we have nurtured and matured an independent judiciary to which everyone can seek redress whenever they feel their rights have been threatened. There is no witch hunting in this country. The president has no time to witch hunt any law-abiding citizen. He is fair and peaceful in all his dealings, and he will never be distracted in the course of his duty to this nation. He is astute, forthright, and focused on his mission to deliver the Gambia that we all want. We will not be threatened or distracted in this. As Winston Churchill once said, if you want to throw a stone at every barking dog, you will never arrive at your destination. Number 3, the opposition leader also said that in his now infamous speech that whatever the sitting government does in terms of diplomacy is exactly what his UDP will do. According to him, they have visited foreign embassies to sell their agendas, whatever that may mean. President Barrow has established and maintained cordial and friendly relations with countries and multilateral partners of the Gambia. No one can enter by the back door to sow a seed of discord between us in their quest to settle non-existent political scores with the government and by extension, the vast majority of the Gambian people. The message of His Excellency after his landslide victory in 2021 was all hands on deck to move the country forward through development agendas, programs of his government in addressing the daily hopes and aspirations of Gambians of all walks of life. Thank you very much.
Good morning to every Gambian. First, we want to congratulate His Excellency President Adama Barrow on the 58th anniversary of the independence of our dear republic, and also his 58th anniversary of his birthday. So thank you to every peace-loving Gambian. Our presence here today is necessitated by our love for the Gambia, and our love for NPP, and our love for His Excellency President Adama Barrow. But most importantly, our meeting here today is to respond to a statement that we found to be contemptible, to be reckless, to be dangerous, and frankly, grandiose, made by Ousainou Dardoe'S. This statement borders violence. This statement is un-Gambian, and this statement is unacceptable in a peace-loving Gambia. So today, the NPP are here to make it extremely clear that the Gambia, under His Excellency President Adama Barrow, will be ruled by law and not by the wishes of a man. The statement made by Ousainou Dardoe'S in Kombo South was long and rambling. However, I will break it down to very short and precise. In his statement, he threatened and used the word, "I am warning the president." Ousainou Dardoe'S, you cannot warn His Excellency President Adama Barrow. In his statement, he declared that he may declare his own results come the local government election. Ousainou Dardoe'S, if you do that, we will declare you a rebel. The only authority in this country to declare election results is the Independent Electoral Commission. No other man or woman, including him, Ousainou Dardoe'S. So please, for the safety of our nation, the results of the local government election will only be announced, recognized by the Gambian people, only the one from the IEC and not from any individual. So, in his statement again, he also said that His Excellency President Adama Barrow does not have the authority, or he questioned his authority to establish a commission of inquiry. He is a lawyer for 30 years or more. Section 201 of the 97 Constitution clearly indicated that His Excellency President Adama Barrow has the authority to establish a commission of inquiry into any agency which borders towards public interest, and that includes the local government administrations. So His Excellency is within bounds to establish commission. And we want to make it abundantly clear that these commissions will never have executive interference. These commissions will operate freely, fairly, and transparently, and their recommendations will be implemented regardless of the wishes of Ousainou Dardoe'S. The statement is unfortunate for somebody who has been held as an elderly statesperson of this country. We've gone to the level of being the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, can never imagine announcing his own results. This is uncalled for, and we are calling on all peace-loving Gambians to get out and vote for the party of their choice come the local government election and operate within the law. Because if you don't, as my party said before, it's either you obey the law or the law will consume you, and nobody will be above the law in this country as long as President Adama Barrow is the president. There has been a lot of history with Ousainou Dardoe'S and violence. And this is just the latest and the unacceptable one. Ousainou Darboe, when he was in government, he supported the fact that if you challenge the 3 years of President Barrow, he is going to take you to court. When he was out of government, he said that was the statement of Ousainou Darboe, not the UDP president. This is inconsistent and unacceptable. And NPP remember this very well. It was the same Ousainou Darboe that had running with the Public Order Act. And this he challenged in the highest court of the land. And he even challenged it to the ECOWAS court and he lost. That means that law is the law of the land and must be respected. Ousainou Darboe, when he was in government, he threatened that every teacher that protested will be fired. And when Ousainou Darboe was out of government, he said threatening teachers had the right to strike. Who is Ousainou Darboe? When Ousainou Darboe was in government, every court ruling was okay. Ousainou Darboe dismissed the Supreme Court ruling of our election victory. But today, he's rejoicing the Supreme Court ruling of Talib Bensouda. This is a country where you must obey. You cannot choose what to obey and what not to obey. The law is for every Gambian citizen, including party leaders, including ministers, including every government official. The law will be supreme. You can pick and choose what to take and what not to take. This is a country of equals, and we must all operate within the realm of the law. So finally, I will advise the party leader of UDP, unlike the majority of the people in UDP who are peace-loving Gambians, and let's get this right, majority of the people of UDP are peace-loving Gambians who are minding their daily business within the realms of the law. But the statements being made by their party leader is unacceptable, un-Gambian and grandiose, and will not take shape. So today, we are calling on every peace-loving Gambian, regardless of the party you are, to understand that it is only Gambia we have. And the peace we have is the most precious commodity we have in this country. And we must all operate to maintain that peace that we have. His Excellency President Adama Barrow is the most peace-loving Gambian. He has respected the rulings of this court for entirety of his presidency. There has been cases which has gone against his wishes, but he has respected them because he is a man of law. So today, the National People's Party, under His Excellency President Adama Barrow, is advising that Ousainou Darboe withdraws his statement and also make it very clear to the Gambian people that Gambia must operate within peaceful existence. We must peacefully coexist and we must respect the law. And we, in the strongest possible terms, condemn the statement that was made by Ousainou Darboe in his rally in Kombo South. Thank you very much.
Government is a continuous process. And the government of President Adama Barrow was re-elected in 2021. And if you are following proceedings at the National Assembly and also happenings at local councils, you will realize that there are a lot of maladministrations, a lot of alleged financial malpractice, and that people have been complaining for a while now, but it came to light of recent when the Finance and Public Account Committee of the National Assembly continues to meet and to receive statements of accounts and activities reports from government departments and institutions, including the local councils. And it is glaring that there is a need in the interest of public interest, in the interest of accountability and transparency, that what people have been complaining of millions of dollars missing in our local authorities, and that following their appearance at the Finance and Public Accounts Committees, and as well as long-standing requests from the membership of those council for the Ministry of Local Government through government to look into it. And of course, there was audits which was carried by the National Audit Office and other auditors in various local authorities. It is now apparent that the government is responsible to the people to set up a commission. There are pundits that also talks about probably just to set up a special audit committees, or probably because once something comes to light of that nature, of that magnitude, which can lead to a lot of corruptions, economic crimes, maladministrations, to probably just set up an investigative panel. But President Adama Barrow, who respect due process and the rule of law, decided to act in accordance to the Section 200, subsection 1, A, B, C, and D of the 1997 Constitution that empowers him to set up commissions of inquiries into any matter affecting government departments, when you look at those subsections, including local authorities, and or anything that is to public interest. And because of that, he's empowered by the Gambian people in accordance with public interest to set up that commissions. I disagree with people who would say that it's witch hunting. The leader of the United Democratic Party, Ousainou Dardoe'S, indicated, and some other people are accusing some public officials of corruption. And now that it is obvious in the public domain and up to the National Assembly that there is alleged misappropriation, or we believe that there is some misappropriation of public funds or maladministrations within our council or local authorities, and that the only way that can unravel all those misconceptions or those allegations that are leveled against them is to set up an independent commission of inquiry in accordance with law. If the Ousainou Dardoe'S, the authoritarian leader of the UDP, believe in fighting corruptions, and the leaders of those various councils believe in fighting corruptions, and every Gambian who believe in fighting corruptions, and the United Democratic Party's control council believe that they have been equal to the task. There's nothing to hide, there's no corruption, there's no maladministration. Why the rambling? Why the bickering? Why the threat? Why trying to impede lawful and legal processes and authority? If they believe that, in fact, we expected, if Lawyer Dardoe'S is an astute leader who is incorruptible and who believes in the fight against corruptions and maladministrations, should support and in fact should hail the actions of government under the leadership of the president and ask his people to comply and to show and to tell Gambians the truth, to show that they are not corrupt, to show that there is no maladministration, to show that there is no mismanagement of public funds. But it's obvious because you look at the council, for example, the Kanete Municipal Council. Since the UDP under Talib Ahmed Bensouda controlled the council, can you tell us what meaningful development they have done to this country besides the flowers that they planted within the around their own building and the KMC and the fencing of the Bakote Dome site? Tell us. You are Gambians, we residents and citizens of the Kanete Municipal Council. Can you tell us which meaningful development that the councils that have controlled hundreds of millions, which of course the richest council in the country, have done? They are responsible of constructing this feeder road. But since Talib assumed office 2018 to date, can you tell Gambians which road have he constructed?
And Honorable, just to add a few to that, the origin of the law that has given the president the mandate to, don't worry, yes, I'm saying the source of the law from which the president's power has originated does not put any time bound. What it has done is to give the mandate to the president to set up commissions. Origin of the law from which the president has taken his power to put up commissions. Honorable Njai cited Constitution section 200 in different categories. And there is no specification to say there is a time bound within which the president could do this. And if you are looking at the local government election as a case, the president's term, in the second term of the president, he is only 1 year, 2 months. So there isn't any problem of time in this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question? Yes, your questions. I would want to set the record straight. This press conference is organized by the National People's Party, not the executive arms of government. And the statement made by the leader of the United Democratic Party, Ousainou Dardoe'S, was made in his capacity as leader of a political party, in a political platform. It is only befitting for us as a party, and he threw stones at the National People's Party. And as responsible party executive, we thought it behoves on us to respond on those bases. And this press conference is not organized by the government. You've highlighted government project. We are not here addressing issues of government project. And I want to suggest that that question, you can refer it to the government. And for us, it is up that as a party, we respond to the party leaders, to party's political comment, because the president is committed to the devolution and also to the supremacy of the government, of the constitution, and through rule of law, because he wants to build strong institution of democracy. In democratic governance dispensation, you separate party politics and governance. And because of those reasons, we cannot have the government spokesperson to respond on allegations leveled against a political party, even though we are the party in governance. Because we want to move the country. Those are part of irregularities that the president is committed to rectifying. The biggest challenge we have as a country and as a continent is change and innovation. And the president wants every Gambian, after he leaves office, to build a strong foundation of democracy, where we will operate based on the principle of, who's this? Based on the principles of democracy. Now, Lawyer Dardoe talked about the councils. One of the reasons or one of the ways of rectifying the abnormalities is due process. We have seen the Kanafi Municipal Council, as we speak now, they don't have chief executive officer. And the matter was before the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court held a decision indicating that the mayor and his council, they don't have the authority to suspend or to dismiss the chief executive officer. That's a Supreme Court decision. The leader of the United Democratic Party, he said we must respect decisions of the Supreme Court. Himself and his party mayor is obstructing lawful and authority and also decision of the Supreme Court. There's the hypocrisy. Who? The President of the Republic of the Gambia, the courts, the councils went to the Supreme Court and asked for declaration on that provisions in the act against the provisions of the Constitution. And the Supreme Court indicated that their terms would continue until a day preceding the swearing in of the new council. And President Adama Barrow, for his respect for the rule of law and independence of the judiciary, accepted that decision, even if whereas government will seek review of the Supreme Court. Lawyer Dardoe himself, in that platform in Gunjur, he accused the president of stifling or not respecting the decision of the Supreme Court. That's hypocrisy in its best. We want to call on the UDP leader to call on the mayor of KMC to respect the decision of the Supreme Court. We don't believe in engaging in personal sentiment and self-aggrandizement. And we believe most of these comments that are made on social media by the UDP and their leader or their surrogates are based on personal sentiment, personal attacks. And for us, we want to set as an example, not everything that people sit at the comfort of their houses using social media, thanks to the democratic nature of this dispensation, they come up with those issues. So we only respond when things are very pertinent and are very alarming. You look at the comment of the UDP leader. Gambians, we are all aware that his wish is to render this country ungovernable, as he made earlier on. And he believed, because from 2021 to 2026 is a long distance for him because he's over 80 years old. And he believed the only way, he is so desperate to be in power, that is to render this country into ungovernable, to ensure that there is violence and there is chaos in this country. And he believed if that happened, he can have an opportunity to be a president. And we found this comment to be very dangerous. We found this comment, and he brought them at a time when we are going in for elections. And the Gambia as a country, and also the Economic West African State, ECOWAS, under their protocols of democracy and good governance, and also protocol, indicated that they want all political leaders, political parties, and leaders within this sub-region to always de-escalate tensions when we are heading into election. And we are going into local government elections, and it is apparent that all his mayors and chairmen, they will lose the elections. So what he wants to do is to cast a sense of doubt within the minds of the Gambian people, and also to prepare his supporters for violence. So that comes during campaigns and a period of announcement of results, they can create violence in this country, and then the country will descend into violence, which is very, very serious. That is why we deem it fitting to respond to these issues, because he has served as a vice president, Dr. Sabali indicated, in this country. And as a political party leader, our constituents are our people, they are our voters. Their peace and stability should be our utmost top priority. So on those basis, we are here. Thank you. Any other questions?
Excuse me, please.
Okay,
Yeah, let me come in, Omar. You mentioned about the excesses of, sorry, let me just put this, of the local authorities. I think the only excess that is happening now is just at the KMC, where they award people with contracts, to clear the gutters, and nothing is done. And what we've seen, since Talib came to power, is what we call politics of dishonesty and presentation style of politics. Why put flower bases, on and around his office, so that when people are going to Banjul, they can say, oh, there's something going on. People of this municipality does not need flower bases. How many potholes, are within the municipality? He has no plan. He has no vision. The only thing he can do is a presentation style of politics. It's just rhetoric. That's all he can do. So he doesn't have a plan for this municipality. And we can safely tell you that, this party of ours, we have a plan for this municipality. We nearly finished working at Banjul. We are coming to KMC. And be reassured, President Barrow is going to deliver to the latter.
We are now in process of concluding our internal democracy. This is a party of democracy, and we want to set as an example. We will get back to you. So today we are addressing these issues. Thank you. Any other questions? President Stay Kombo Okira Kongol Mba Hombo Darna wano di chaldi Saturday o bari darno de woni commission pour laara ko hoko wada hender KMC kan hedulaji goddi na wodi bukku mo laamu wi ko don woni o wiete gazette nayno ko dum kollirta ne ko dum do laamu yidi wadde do wondo laamu wadi gazette ha pari subi be ganduda be ko ben gonta commissionaji bi nen na wayno o commission poto wade pour laara wicita kales ganduda ko yimi be cikki hina majji ba majjani kan he ligge de gandade ligge de jarani he lawol e der KMC kan e kansulaji di fof bila KMC BCC, Brikama Area Council, Karawan Area Council, Mansakonko Area Council, Kuntauri Area Council, Janjamuri Area Council, Kanya Basse Area Council, be mbaɗatɗi pour ɓe laara ko foko waɗa toon liggede nda ko feewi fewani tappale biyaɗe ɗe waɗi waɗani.
Okay, let me add media. You might be this the NPP media team. I've encouraged them if they feel that they are comfortable asking questions in the local language, they are free to do so. So don't get confused about it. Yeah.
Thank
Please.
you. Now we will only take 2 questions because you will come because we wanted to concentrate on the purpose of the press conference. We don't want to open it up. That is why our spokesperson indicated that the rule of proceeding was for him to make a statement, and then the national president, then I take question and answer session, because we don't want to open it up. I will take only one more question, then allow the secretary research, then we can draw the curtain. Any other question? You talked about the Banjul projects. I think the Banjul projects, what you talked about there was some procedural errors or mistakes, and there was no corruption issues raised on the Banjul project. And we were all aware those procedural errors were corrected by government and by all partners, and it was acknowledged by even auditors, and that those were procedural errors, not about corruptions. And then the reason being, in fact, some of those errors and why people were racing about the Banjul project, because it was a monumental project, and they saw it as a huge development for the city of Banjul, and they thought, because that is the first in the history of the Gambia, such a magnitude to address not only the roads, but the roads, drainage, and sewage system to the entire capital city. In fact, as we speak now, it has never been in the wildest dream of every Gambian that the way the Banjul projects have been executed, it timely, and they followed the specifications as per government, and also the contractor performed up to expectation. So what at the time they were querying was, because the 2021 elections was nearer, so they thought, if the project kickstarts and it is not halted, because the objective was to stop the project, so that the president and his government will be accused of not fulfilling their promise of developing Banjul. And all those administrative, it was just a matter of procedural errors, and they were rectified, and the project went on, and it's a success today. And the Gambia President Adama Barrow will also turn into the KMC to Serekunda, and he will replicate such project for the interest of the citizens of this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. The press conference is party-based. It's organized by the NPP in response to concerns that were raised by Honorable Ousainou Dardoe'S in Gunjur. Your concern for government to respond, government's response would also come. It is not the mandate of this body here to determine government response and when it comes. The responsibility of any person here is to stand on the NPP platform and to speak from party level what we know, the confusion Lawyer Dardoe'S had done to the population, and as our civic responsibility to make matters clear. That is the objective. But certainly, government, so long as it is seen necessary, would also come with the response of government. So thank you.
Okay, then he will come. Okay, yeah, go ahead. The inter-party, we will definitely, wherever and whenever necessary, to lodge complaint into certain issues, but also it behoves on us to set the record straight. When such dangerous comments are made and that are seen to be a threat to the peace and stability of this country, as a party, we will come out and then make our position very clear and also indicate, because we have not even warned him. He said he's warning the president, he's warning the commander-in-chief of the Gambian Armed Forces, who is also elected by Gambian to lead, to serve from 2021 to 2027, January 19. But as you know, he's a Democrat, the president. We decided to respond and to put sense into people whose probably sense only on acquiring the leadership of this country. Thank you. Thank you. Now we will allow the
main thrust and objective of this press conference is to draw attention, public attention, to the very dangerous statements that Honorable Ousainou Dardoe'S made in Gunjur recently in relation to the establishment or setting up of commission of inquiry into the activities of local government authorities. And let us try and deflect attention of this setting up of commissions from the local government elections that are in the horizon presently. The setting up of commissions is a matter of the process of governance of the country. Commissions of inquiry emerge in the process of governance, and it is within the remit of the President of the Republic to set up a commission of inquiry whenever, wherever he deems it necessary, as provided under Section 200 of the 1997 Constitution. Now, we have to see the Constitution as the collective voice of the people of the Gambia. The collective voice of the people of the Gambia is bigger than the individual voice of any political leader or any political party for that matter. The Constitution does not give or direct the president to set up commissions of a commission of inquiry in any particular time or at any particular time of the year. The commission of inquiry was set up in relation to findings that have been discovered in the process of the work of the National Assembly. So I think we need to try and deviate attention from the local government elections in relation to this commission of inquiry. This has nothing to do with the local government elections. The UDP party leader's statements was made in a political meeting in Gunjur, because that political meeting was in relation to the we understand it was a victory celebration of the UDP candidate there, KKB Barrow. Please don't confuse me. That election victory was in relation to National Assembly elections that were conducted almost 1 year ago. Why, therefore, if you want to link this commission of inquiry to the present, to the emerging local government elections, why, I will ask also, why did the UDP not organize a victory celebration for KKB Barrow in elections that took place almost 1 year ago? Why only 2 weeks ago? So, yeah. So let us understand that in the process of governance, commissions of inquiry emerge as and when the president considers it fit and necessary, and it has got nothing to do with the electoral calendar of the government of the country. Thank you
for coming, and also the national executive members who are here, and also we appreciate your coming, your valuable time, and looking forward to a continuous and fruitful collaboration between the National People's Party and the members of the media. That was it for this press conference. Thank you very much.